If you are stuck dwelling on past mistakes, replaying what-if scenarios, and carrying guilt over things you cannot change, you are not alone. But what if regret isn't the enemy? What if, instead of letting it define you, you could use it to grow? In this video, I will help you shift your perspective on regret so it no longer holds you back. Hello my friend, welcome to Simply Inspired with Magda. I'm Magda, and on my channel I share personal reflections and real-life experiences on self-discovery, personal growth and emotional healing. Today I want to talk about regrets and wasted time, but mostly regrets. This is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. Maybe it's part of the healing journey where you start to think about certain moments in your life and wondering, could I have done things differently? Could I have done better? Should I have done something at all? So in this video I want to share with you 3 different stories on my regrets. Although I'm trying to live my life having no regrets, but let's face it, it's not always possible. Besides, we are just humans, so we think, we analyze, we reflect, and sometimes regret just creeps in. By the end of this video, I hope you will see regret from a different light. Regret number 1, stopping writing my blog. One of my biggest regrets is tied to writing. So back in 2015, 2 years after I moved to England, I started writing a blog, a Polish blog, which I mentioned in my previous videos. So originally this blog was meant to be a lifestyle blog where I wanted to just share my ideas on cooking, gardening and all the lifestyle related topics. But soon enough I realized that that wasn't really my kind of thing. So I decided to write a very open and vulnerable article about my insecurity-ness. So I opened my heart there and my soul, and I was sharing where all my insecurities were coming from, about my inner critics, and also how my mom influenced my life, and how her words in my childhood shaped me and affected me. And this article was very raw, very honest, and it surprised me, or maybe not, but many people could resonate with what I was writing there. So at some point this article was one of the most popular articles on my blog, and slowly I was getting traction. So I was writing more and more about other things, about feelings, emotions, inner critic and self-discovery and healing, and it almost become like a group therapy. So it was beneficial for me and for my readers, and honestly I loved it. I wasn't focusing on anything but just writing and just pouring my heart out. But then what happened was my mom one day discovered this blog. This is something I wasn't planning to share it with her, probably because I was writing a lot of articles related to her, and I shared some things that I've never openly told her about. But when she found my blog, she messaged me, and I was really surprised because her reaction was different to what I would anticipated. Because she said that my writing was very good, but also she acknowledged all the harm and hurt she caused. So she even apologized me, she explained where she was coming from, so we managed to have some dialogue, and she said that yes, she really enjoyed my writing and I'm a good writer and I should even one day consider writing a book. So to be honest, that was very unexpected, and it really shocked me. Shocked me to the point that I suddenly kind of freaked out and I didn't know what to do with this. My mom being proud of me and prizing my work, it was almost too much. And back then I didn't have enough knowledge to know what was going on. that what happened was it was my ego that just freaked out. My ego that wanted to keep me safe, my ego that wanted to keep me small, and my ego decided to sabotage my, well, success. So completely unaware of what was going on, I surrendered to my ego and I let my fear win. So what happened next? I neglected my blog and eventually I stopped writing completely. And honestly, that is one of my biggest mistakes, because I often wonder, where would I be now if I had kept going? You know, I could have grown this blog to something bigger. I could turn it into a podcast, a book. Maybe I would be a well-known Polish blogger or writer. I don't know. I cannot even say. But the problem was that I let my fear win. And that is a really, really big regret of mine. But instead of dwelling on this too much, what I can do now is acknowledging the fact that my ego sometimes can try to sabotage me because it wants to keep me safe. So now I have enough knowledge to recognize when it tries to creep in, and every time when the resistance is coming, I can see what's going on, and instead of letting this fear rule my life and stop me from moving forward and achieving something in my life, I just keep going. Yeah, I acknowledge my fear, I acknowledge my resistance, and I know that it's ego talking. And rather than, letting this regret ruling my life and wasting more of my life, I am now more aware of what my ego is trying to do here when I'm building something meaningful, when I'm working on something that feels a bit scary, something that is new. Like, building this YouTube channel, I don't want this to happen again, like it happened with my writing. So this experience with that blog, rather than keeping into a box of regrets, I learned from that mistakes, and I don't want to make the same mistake again when ego took over, ego sabotaged my growth, and I let the fear win. So, regret number 2, staying too long in the wrong relationships. I don't really regret any relationships I've had, but I do regret staying too long in some of them. I regret ignoring red flags. I regret not listening to my intuition when it was telling me that maybe this is not right for me. Looking back, I sometimes think that maybe I should have waited longer before getting into some of my relationships. Maybe I should have taken more time to heal before getting into a new relationship. Maybe I should have chosen differently my partners in the past. But this is me talking from a perspective of a person I am now, from a perspective of the person with the knowledge that I have at the moment about myself, about relationships and the patterns that I was following when I was choosing my partners in the past. So I made decisions based on the knowledge, experience and emotions I had at that time. So at the end, every of this relationship taught me something about life, about love, relationships, myself. I truly believe that every relationship could be a valuable lesson, and relationship is only a waste of time if we don't learn from that lesson. If we take the lesson with us, then this is not a wasted time, it's just part of our journey. So one of the biggest lessons I have from my previous relationship is that the longer you stay in a relationship that you know isn't right for you, the bigger regret you're gonna have later for not leaving sooner. And regret number 3 is not spending enough time with my dad. And probably this regret is the hardest one. And this regret, I think it's part of the grieving. And because I losing my dad was the first time I ever lost anyone I loved, and grieving in general is something completely new to me. I would say that since my dad is gone, I'm thinking a lot about him and the time I had with him. And my biggest regret, obviously, is that I wasn't spending enough time with him, because now in the situation of sadness, I would give anything to have one more day or one more evening with him. And I think one of the hardest realization is that my mom's resentment towards my dad affected my relationship with him. After their divorce, she didn't accept the fact that my dad is still my dad, and she tried to make us pick up sides, which at that time I wasn't quite aware what was going on, and I didn't realize that was an emotional manipulation. And what happened next was I chose my mom over my dad. Mostly because I was afraid of her emotional blackmails, like silent treatments, guilt tripping, and all of those things. For me, it was just easier to go along with her expectations rather than risk her disappointment. And now, when my dad is gone, I'm thinking that I will never get this time back. I can't call him, I can't take him for coffee, I can't go and just visit him, and I cannot hug him. And so that regret is really deep. That regret is something that I cannot change, I cannot turn back time. But I think this kind of regret is just part of grieving. So if you are watching this, I can only say that if you still have your parents in your life, parents that you are close with, that are loving, and then try to spend as much time as possible with them. Call them as often as you can, visit them as often as you can, because you don't know how much time you have left with them. And honestly, when they are gone, you will do anything for, having just another occasion to see them, hug them, or call them. Having regrets is a natural human thing, but you need to remember that regret comes from a perspective of a person you are now, not the person you were then. And the truth is, you can't change your past, and you can't turn back time. But what you can do is take lessons from your regrets. You can use them to shape your future, to make different choices moving forward. And if you are still struggling with regret, you can write it down and look at your regrets from a place of understanding rather than judgment. And most importantly, don't waste your life dwelling on your past mistakes, and don't dwell on things that you cannot change. The only thing that is worth focusing is things that you can change, because after all, life is all about learning, growing, and evolving. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. If you would like to hear more from me, please subscribe to my channel, and I see you next time.